space.
Okay, so the wall is just about done. I've got it 8 blocks high, and I decided to make the 9th block out of glass and maybe the ceiling as well. That'll look really cool. So I got some sand and wood cooking in there to make glass. Okay. I think this is going to work out pretty nicely. And obviously this is not going to be the end of the house. No, sir. I'm going to extend it further this way, and further back that way. Probably ending up 4 or 5 times larger than this original foundation. Now I put more torches out, so I don't worry about mobs as much. And as I say that, there's a fucking zombie over there, and a skeleton, and another zombie. Great. My wheat farm so far has been kind of failed. Stuff kept stepping on it and destroying the wheat, so I finally just gave up and destroyed all the dirt blocks in here so the farm animals wouldn't spawn. And as you can see, we started with 7 seeds and I'm down to 3 things a week. So I'm going to show you a quick way to grow your farm. Is that a creeper? Or a zombie? I don't know. These bones, you get them from skeletons. You can use them as fertilizer, and I will demonstrate. Harvest this. Oh, these guys are fucking loud. So turn the sound off. Now, I'm going to replant these 2 seeds. And what we can do with this is make bone meal. Okay, now we have our bone meal. And bone meal is fertilizer, and watch what happens when I right click. Instantly grown wheat. Pretty sweet, right? And I'm going to add blocks as needed in here this time. And all I got to do is keep replanting and instantly growing. And I keep doing this until I run out of bones. Pretty cool. And this will get my wheat farm up and running very quickly. Just wanted to show you that cool little trick. Still working on farming obsidian for the Nether gate. That might or might not be my next stop in the episode. We'll see. I will be back after I finish with this. Yeah, look at that shit. I just opened this up to take a look and got a nice bit of growth here. I'm gonna start harvesting these mushrooms. So this is working. This took probably a couple hours of growth, I guess. Doesn't grow terribly fast. They don't grow as fast as wheat, but they are a little bit more sustaining. Please stop steaming me. That's one of the players on the server. I asked him for ideas for this episode, what to put in. I can make some mushroom stew now, so I'll show you how to do that. But now I completely lost my train of thought. I'm gonna replant these mushrooms here. Okay, I kind of remember now. I was thinking about the way things grow in Minecraft. It doesn't just grow like all the time. You actually have to be within a certain radius of the crops or the trees or whatever that's growing. I'm not quite sure if it applies to mushrooms, but I assume it does. It has to be loaded into memory, and from what I looked at earlier, I was looking at the wiki, I think it's It has to be within 3 chunks of you, the player. Any player has to be within 3 chunks of the place that's growing. So what does that mean? Like if I'm in my house, these chunks are loaded into memory. This area is loaded into memory. So these will be growing, but if I start exploring way far the fuck away, then I'm going to have problems because these won't be growing. So just an FYI, you don't want to make your farms way too far away from you because of that and other reasons. Just for practicality in most cases. But I'm going to continue planting these, and then I'm going to be back and I'll show you how to make mushroom stew. Okay, we're going to make some stew. You need both red and brown mushrooms. And first you need to make bowls, because obviously it's stew, you have to put it in something. Well, I guess that wouldn't be too obvious in Minecraft. Anyway, so you make a bowl with that. It's similar to a boat. A boat would be this. And this out of iron would be a minecart. Okay, so I got my bowls. And now I want to make mushroom stew. Mushroom stew, mushroom stew. It takes up 1 slot each, of course. Same as other cooked food items. And it heals the same amount as a cooked pork chop. So it heals 4 hearts, I believe. Yes, 4 hearts. As opposed to bread, which only heals 2.5, so it's pretty damn good actually. It's superior to bread, and it's almost as replenishable. Wheat does farm a little bit easier, a little bit faster. Mushrooms are quite good. The only big problem I have with mushrooms, mushroom stew, is when you consume it, the bowl is still in your inventory. So it doesn't go away like if you had a pork chop or bread. But on the same note, you can reuse the bowls. Just store them away until I have to make more stew. Okay. It took me like 3 more hours, but I've pretty much finished this beast. Added a staircase that's right next to the spawn platform. Pretty cool. And I don't want to show you guys that quite yet. But, it's 9 blocks tall with 1 block of glass at the top. 8 blocks of wooden slabs, so that's 16 slabs in all. Pretty cool, right? Looks great in the daytime, a lot of light. And at night it looks pretty cool, and if it's raining or lightning outside, it looks pretty fucking epic. I'm gonna dig this 1 block down and make that a basement, and I'll cover it over and put a little put a little door, maybe a trap door down to get in here. Not quite sure. Anyway, I've been working on this, and I wanted to add double doors here. And I wanted my usual pressure plate system, but there's a problem with double doors when it comes to opening it via redstone. And shut up, guys. And I'll demonstrate. Say you wanted to open double doors with pressure plates, alright? What happens? Huh? What? Basically, double doors are all sorts of fucked when it comes to redstone wiring. They actually have opposite power states. So, if you step on a pressure plate, you expect both of these to open? No, only one's going to open. And then when you step off, the other one's going to close. So, how do you fix that? Well, you have to use something that's called an inverter. And it's a pretty simple thing, and it's a basis for all the logic gates in the game. is actually called a NOR gate, a NOT gate, N-O-T, and you build it by using an inverter. Notice what I did there. I put a block with a redstone torch on it. We have this pressure plate. This wire is off. This block with a torch, and this wire runs into the torch, and it is on. But what happens when I step on this pressure plate? You can also throw items onto wooden pressure plates. This torch turns off, and this section of wire is also off. But now it's back on. And why that's happening is because this torch is inverting the signal. Any signal sent from the input is going to be inverted by the torch and sent in the opposite state through this wire. So when this is on, that's off. When this is off, this is on. Basically, it's the opposite. And that's called a NOT gate. Really quite simple. And when you have it hooked up like this, these two doors are going to always be on opposite power states. So, oops, I missed. Now they're going to open properly. And I'm going to hook them up to a single pressure plate so you can see that. A little bit of a delay you noticed with the right door. See? And that's because the inverter actually delays it by a tick. It's like a tenth of a second. Most of the time you can't even see that, but I think lag is amplifying the effect. So, you have to build a NOT gate, or an inverter, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty simple. But the hard part is doing it and making it look nice. Because sometimes, like, say you wanted to run redstone wire underneath the floor. Okay, that sounds easy enough. What happens when you put a block on top of redstone? Oops. See, you actually can't. But if I were to put a block, let's see, on top of this redstone, it won't let me because it would cut the wire. I think you can see it better if I do it here. Notice that this wire was connected to this, but as soon as I put a block there, it got disconnected. It actually cuts it. So you have to do some little clever bit of engineering to get it to work. And this is what I came up with. Perfect. And I have the NOT gate set up here as well. And these two pressure plates run down into this wire right here. And you can see that when I put something on it. It powers this wire because it's one block below the pressure plate, and the pressure plate's actually connected to this block. So it runs power throughout this entire block. It looks like it's 2 blocks away, but it's actually, think of it as being in the middle of this block, because that's where it is for all intents and purposes here. And now this current runs into this NOT gate, or the inverter, whatever you want to call it, which keeps this door in the opposite power state to this door. Notice this is on, this is off. That's really all I did, and I had to run it outwards and around, and then coming back up so I could put a block here and... oh, sorry. So I could put a block here and make it still work. So I can cover this up, but it's still going to work. But if I put a block here, like you saw, and got rid of this, sorry, didn't do that. Say if I put that, it cuts the signal. Remember when we did that? But also if I have a block here and it's running around like it is, that block is cutting the signal. So I remove it and it works. So this is basically how I did it. Pretty cool. runs around there. You can see up this block. And the reason I have these repeaters on is just for making the timing better. Because sometimes I would step on this pressure plate and then... Come on. What's this lag going on? There we go, sorry. That's laggy. I would step on this pressure plate. I'm getting some bear lag right now. I would step on this pressure plate and run to the door. And the door would close in my face sometimes. So I decided to delay it a little bit more. I added the repeater, which remember I explained in the previous episode, delays it by another 1/10 of a second. Doesn't sound very long, but it's like the perfect timing. So I can just run through the doors and have it closed right behind me. That's the only purpose for that being there. It took a little bit more effort too, because I had to run the current out further. See? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And closes behind me. And I'm just going to seal up the front of the wall there, and it's going to look pretty sweet. Okay. I'm also going to put a doorbell here somewhere. Okay, so I've finished most of the floor. I'm going to dig this down and make that a basement. Man, that looks really cool. I'm pretty proud of myself with this. I'm definitely going to make it bigger, but I like the way this is going. And since I replaced this floor with wood, farm animals are not going to spawn in here anymore. Especially when I get rid of all this grass here too. And that's going to be nice. And I know I promised that we go into the Nether this episode. Well, we're already at like 12 or 13 minutes, I think. Beyond 10 at least. And I really, when I go into the Nether, I'd like to spend a full episode there. Or near to. Just because, especially if you guys have never been there, it's pretty freaky, it's kind of cool the first time. There's a lot of things to explain. So I'm going to make episode 4 dedicated mostly to the Nether. I'm going to do some mining, clean this place up a little bit, get rid of all this crap, and I'll be back later. So I made some improvements to the house. You should be able to see how it's all coming together now. I added these interior rooms that I was talking about. And I have this wide open space here. This is going to be probably a minecart track eventually to get myself around quickly. This wall is going to extend significantly further. And it's the same on this side, also going to extend significantly further. Not quite sure what I'm going to use this room for. Maybe like a library or something. My infinite water spring. Now you might be asking yourself, this looks pretty empty. Where are all your storage chests and stuff? Well, I got myself a little elevator. And here's the basement. It's the only way to get in. And I have a bunch of my chests and storage down here, and the mine shaft is still here. But I'm going to take this water elevator, and it goes up through all 3 floors. It's a little impractical when you're going up, but it's still really cool. And this is the split level thing I was talking about. Again, not quite sure what I'm going to put up here. But it is pretty cool. And ooh, rain. And around the outside, like I think I'm going to make this wall, I think, out of dispensers and other blocks. And that'll be my storage. And I'll put like signs above them that says this item, that item, etc. And then just grab my stuff from the wall. That'll be pretty cool. Hey guys, I'm not quite sure how much time's left, so this is probably going to wrap up episode 3. I told you we're going to farm obsidian, right? So let's do it. Find some lava. Get some buckets of water, and you don't want to pour directly onto the lava, you want to pour above it. Pick up your water. Voila, obsidian. Really quite that simple. You can also bring lava up to the surface and do it if you really wanted to, but it's easier to do it down here. Now you need a diamond pick to mine obsidian, and holy fuck, it takes forever. Obsidian has the best blast resistance of any block in the game except for bedrock, and you can't mine bedrock, so it's point is moot. It takes a long time to mine this though. If, say, a creeper explodes, oh, and by the way, creepers, you have a mod on the server that creepers do damage, but they don't damage blocks, so they're not going to blow a hole in your house, but generally they do. And if no type of explosion, neither creeper nor TNT will damage obsidian, so it's the best to make like blasting platforms if you want, or if you wanted to make a basic TNT cannon or something. Anything that has to do with explosions, but it's completely impractical to use in any serious building structure. Number one, because it takes so long to mine it, and number two, it's rare. And if you place it and then you decide, oh, I don't actually want it there, I want to build somewhere else, well, good luck getting it back. Anyway, I'm going to mine this obsidian. I need at least 16. Well, that's not true. I think I need at least 12 for a nether gate, but I want to get 16 to make the gate complete and not make it not look crap. So I'm going to get 16 of these. And I'm going to build the gate next episode to start off, and then we're going to go into the nether, and hopefully some glowstone. I'm definitely going to get netherrack though, so we're going to set that on fire and watch cows and pigs and shit burn. Yeah, that should be fun. So I will see you guys next time.